Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is day 749, war in Ukraine. One more day and it'll be 750. In fact, in 55 minutes, it will be day 750 here in Ukraine, March 13th, 2024. I've got so much stuff ready to roll for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about the front lines, going to give you an update on different regions where Ukraine's doing okay, where we're struggling a little bit, and also, I've got some information for you, some internal video here on the fortifications we've been talking about that maybe you have not seen, but you're going to see those. Additionally, I've got quite a bit of video translated and a few other news articles, and of course, a updated total on the campaign, which has now been going for 53 hours. We had released it with Dr. Gertis 53 hours ago. And I was on a stream with Johnny yesterday. Johnny's getting ready to do another stream and push it. I was on with Mercado last night. Starsky's coming up. Shill's coming up. Warthog coming up. And then all of us doing our thing here together. And Rick. So it's rolling, and we'll give you the update on that. Now, with all of that said, I received just 10, 15 minutes ago, I started receiving all these messages from this crazy man. And he's basically bonkers. But he sent me a message. He says, man, I think I want to come on and say hi tonight. I said, okay, then you know what I can do if you're coming in and you're going to say hi. I can take these notes and throw them in the trash can. And guys, I have a special treat for you tonight that I did not even know was going to be happening. And without further ado, let's just get to it and welcome this fella in here. What's up?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. Dobry den, everybody. Thank you for having me at such late notice.
Guys, welcome to the program, Pete.
Hi, everybody. You beautiful, beautiful people of the world. I'm so tired, but I couldn't resist. I was sending Greg a random message, just lying in my bed, flicking the camera around, showing him what my bed looks like. I mean,
I had that video, and we'll be showing it a little later. I won't waste your time to show that, but yeah, he was literally in the bed. But at some point, you will be rolling out.
Yeah, we've got to go get some boys out there somewhere, and just waiting for the knock. Thanks for saying letting me know. Thank you.
Without saying where you're at and what you're doing and where you're going, I mean, you're waiting to leave to go work now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the reality, guys. Leaving to go to work now. Well, Pete, let's do this. I want to show this, and then I'm just going to rearrange everything tonight. And for those folks that will be jumping into the stream later, you're getting a lot of. In fact, you know what? Let's just change it up, guys. Let's talk to Pete. I'll just start throwing some messages up. Viper UA, brother, thinking and praying for you. Shardy Weedwater, good job, Pete. I wish I was there to help.
Me too.
Blonde Bombsheller. Pete with exclamation marks.
Excellent bombshell.
We've got this is a good one. Pete, you feckin'. That must be a new word. Beautiful hero. Hasta la vista.
That's Irish.
Okay, that's Irish. Hasta la vista. Hi, hero. Ronnie Vrinken, we love you, Pete. Art Vink, hi, Pete. Keep up the good work. Georgie LaForge. Love you. Right there. Love you. Paul Goody Debritz. He's given all the Pete's emoticons there. And this one's from Angie Kuhn. Pete with the praying hands there. That is awesome. Okay, Pete, you getting a high five?
Yes,
you getting a high five from Alex in New Jersey.
Alex, high five, brother. Take it back. God bless you, dude.
Okay, here Now, this guy is an old soldier from Vietnam, Rick Barry. He says,
Oh,
Pete, get a hold of that cough. Makes it rough when you have to move. I'm praying for you, brother.
thank you, boss. Much appreciated that. A vet from Vietnam giving me advice. This is outstanding. Wow. It's an honor to hear from you, my friend.
My wife is giving you a message. Hi, Pete. Don't forget you're coming to our home.
I'm there like a bear. I'm there like a bear. I've got to tell you a hilarious story. Can I quickly? 30
Let's do
seconds?
it, dude. It's
A
my
bear. Oh, my
my
word.
program is gone. Let's go.
You guys are going to literally yourselves when you hear this story. Okay, so Patricia, Patricia Dorian. Anybody wants to Google her? She holds the Guinness World Record. She's one of our supporters from Project Konstantin. She's one of our members. Um, Patricia lives in Romania. She's got the Guinness World Record for having bred the smallest toy horse on earth. She's met the Queen through her equestrian triumphs. I mean, she's a leader in equestrian circles, a trailblazer. Make no mistake. She's not very well right now, and my prayers and thoughts are with Patricia every day. Patricia sent me a message one day. Pete, I've got a bear that keeps climbing over my fence into my farm in Romania, and it's eating my toy horses, and it's eating my goats and everything else. Do you know anything? Anybody can help sort this bear problem out? And I'm thinking along the lines of fixing the fence or whatever. So I put this message out in one of the group chats in Ukraine. This is just after I arrived in Ukraine. Anybody know where I can get some help with some bears? There's a bear eating everything. Do you want to know how the chat groups misinterpreted my messages? They thought I was in trouble. They thought I'd been captured by the Russians because the Russians have a code. They are known as the Bears. So the chat groups were going viral in Ukraine. Everybody hasta la vista. He's been captured by the Russians. We need to find him. I'm not joking. This really happened. Oh my word, it was funny.
Oh
Sorry, you had to
my,
be there.
Pete, I had a bad thing happen today that I know you
What?
happen. You have all the not. I mean, not for me personally, but it is personal. A soldier that we've been helping personally, and
Yeah.
I can't show his picture yet because we're not even sure his family's been notified, and I can't give his call sign. But he was killed in action today,
Oh my
and
word. Oh my
just
word. But
it's just
I'm so
sad.
somebody that you've been helping personally.
Oh, absolutely. I've had lots of friends
Oh,
helping personally that have died.
shucks, mate. My heart goes out to you, dude.
Well,
That sucks,
we
man.
do a lot of help with the Crinky guys. And
Oh,
they
down there. Shucks, it's terrible down there. You've been telling me how bad it is,
it's
how
bad.
almost hopeless it is. It's never hopeless, but how
It's
how
it's
dire it is.
it's
That's
dire.
pretty much one street down there.
So just a few moments ago, Jania called me and said, "Greg, they just called me. We lost," and he gave me the call sign. And I said, "Oh man,
Eternal rest grant unto you, my Lord.
yes, yes." So it's just the
I'm sorry.
reality, guys, that we try to share. And tonight, I take all of my stuff and throw it away. To be honest, we had the honor to have Pete here. Pete, so let's change it up. If something happens and they knock on the door and you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah.
But why don't we do this? Let's actually show your bed, and people may ask you some questions or something. Let's do this. Here we go.
Certainly. Go
Here
for
we
it.
go.
Добрый вечер, everybody. Thought I'll give you guys a quick tour of life in the army. So this is my bed. This is my beautiful view. It's not that bad. There's a brigade flag in the corner there. I've got my own personal radiator. There's a gift from Helena there called Tribe, which I'm still supposed to read. An anti-drone system from Harry Est. Some Hugo Boss. An Echo Flow. Our Lord Jesus Christ. Sellotape, lip balm. Cigarettes that I don't smoke anymore. Flag. Some sweets and nuts, magazine, torch for eventualities. This is my privacy shield. It blocks out that horrible light up there. There's some more soldiers sleeping there. Backpack, another backpack, electron cigarette, power bank, ammunition, rifle, oil for the rifle, water, and somewhere out there are the animals, Lucy and what else can I show you? Oh, Ben sleeps up there when he's not on holiday in Kharkiv. Love you, Ben.
So, folks, that is a typical place where soldiers are living. Hey, at least you have the radiator next to you.
Yeah, I cuddle up to that baby every night because it's still quite cold out here, and it's quite nice. I've got a very fluffy blanket that I roll over the radiator and I curl up to it, and so do the cats. It's lovely.
Lynn Koval, thank you for the 5 coffees there. Yeah, the lip balm. We have to make sure
Thank you.
that his lips are okay. Denise says, okay, it may look good, but I don't want to know how it smells.
Yeah, that smells good. It smells fine, actually. This house has only been occupied. We gave it a spring clean the other day. We moved about 2.5 tons of rubbish out of it, old furniture and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Previous battalion. Yes.
I got you. Nice comment here. Greg and Pete, this is from Levko Koval. Thank you for your charitable work. You are true heroes. Slava Ukraini. You've got a hello here from Pennsylvania via Canada from Paul Kiss. Paul, one of my moderators, sorry for your loss, Greg and Jania. Yeah, it's terrible. Question for you, Pete. Peter the Rock. Biblical there.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
That's amazingly kind. Thank you.
Will we meet Pete's
My mother always said that to me growing up my mother always said to me growing up, she said, Peter, Jesus always said to Peter, on this rock I will build my church. Wow. And I never knew what it meant until I grew up. Sorry, please continue.
You're a stud, buddy. Will we meet Pete's mother when she gets
Yes.
there? All right.
She landed in London this morning, folks. Mumsy is in London. She's only, 2,000 kilometers away? Only. 2,500? Yep. My mother is in London. Oh, my word. She will come here too. She's coming here. She will be in a house. We Project Konstantin rented a kilometer away from this house. Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful granny. I don't know if I told you. Beautiful granny. We went to my local mechanic. I said, please, my mom's coming to you. We need a house where us civilian volunteer PK medics can live. And my mom, and the word went around this little village that we're in, and this 5-year-old babcha gave up her house for us. And when I met her, she buckled down and bowed down to me. I mean, she can barely stand; she's so old, but she bowed down in a full 90-degree bow, and stood up, and she was sobbing. I mean, you've experienced that countless times, Greg. I know you have. These babchas are so sincere, and they're grateful to us. Grateful to all of you people who support us, to enable people like Greg and us out here, and Zhenya. You guys enable this, and people are so grateful. They can't hold themselves. They literally just buckle with tears, and it's so real. I almost said the F word there. It's so real, and it's so rewarding because it's so meaningful. And she gave up her house to us, and my mom's going to live 0.5 kilometer away from us, and she'll be here, and she's going to pray with me every night and every morning, and go for a walk with me and Blackie. And I would love to bring her on here, and she would love to meet all of you.
All right, so
she's
folks,
very shy,
Pete's mother will be on the stream. We're going to
Amen.
make that happen.
Amen. Yes.
Pete, this is from Catalan T, and I'm almost positive this is Romania. Pete, your mom has more courage than a lot of men. That's awesome.
Yes. My mom has got a lot of courage. She has. She hates lightning. She hates thunder and lightning, so she's in for a treat over here. There's thunder and lightning on the horizon every night.
Yeah,
Every
it's a
day.
thunder and lightning, all right.
Yeah.
The question
Yeah.
is, do you have my bed ready?
Yes. You're going to be sleeping under the same roof as my mother, you and Zhenya. Oh, yeah. There's 5 beds there, and they're all waiting for you. Yeah. Anybody, and I extend this quickly, if anybody wants to come to Donbass, and I'm serious as can be, you're welcome. You're welcome. There are three medics that sleep there, from depending who's on duty, but between 1 and 3 medics, and there's space to sleep another 5 or 7 people there. There's hot water, there's a microwave, there's an indoor toilet, and there's a big garden. And
Let me tell you something. That's basically the Hilton.
It's oh man, it's a quaint, beautiful little house just up the road. We've got quad bikes, we've got 4-wheel drives. Come and play with us. We'll
Soon,
have fun.
and this will segue us into this. Yes, Desade, Pete's mom is going to Ukraine, right to the front.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
Because I refused. That's why she has to come. Yeah, sorry, Mama.
Now, if I can get my mother here and your mother together, buddy.
Oh man.
They
you and I won't get a word in edgeways with all the prayers and all the chit.
Well, that and they probably would storm Bakhmut. To be honest, my mother's a fighter, man.
You leave my son alone. I told you, you bully. You leave our sons alone.
You know, guys, listen. For those of you that are watching tonight, and we thank you, and for those of you that will be watching later when this is on demand, this is so much better than going through a news piece and saying, well, this is what happened here, that's what happened there for tonight. And you have the ability to sit. You guys are literally, I know exactly where Pete is. Exactly. And you guys are talking right to the front right now. And it's just a joy. If you guys have any questions, I'm doing my best to watch the chat over here. Feel free. But let's do something together now, Pete. Let's talk about the armored vehicle project.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Please.
Let me show this video first.
Dearest friends of Ukraine, we've recently made an appeal for armored medical evacuation vehicles. What you see behind me is no joke, it's a regular occurrence. Brave soldiers have stapled and screwed body armor to their domestic, tiny 4-wheel drive vehicles, their personal vehicles that they bring to the front. And they do this in hope of surviving an attack. The realities of defending against genocide in Ukraine.
Pete, to be honest with you, that's exactly how when the times have come that Jania and I have had to go into places like where the DRG is, and they could be in the forest and shoot at your vehicle or whatever. We've done the same thing with extra body armor. Put it on the window, and then put another one on the back of our seat. Then, of course, you got yours on. You do everything you can to gain protection. So this is why these armored vehicles are so important. Here's a nice message, Pete. Pete's the first time I see you as I'm new to this channel, but it's amazing to see you are smiling. Stay strong. I will not be able to pronounce that. G de lavabo. I hope I did that okay. So these vehicles are going to get a major upgrade. So where is the donation link for the emergency vehicles? Please pin it in all future streams. In fact, I'll do that right now. I want to give you guys an update. Let me pin that first. Oh, Paul's got it. And somebody put something in the chat and then I can pin it. There we go. Thank you. Pinned. Done. Thank you, JDO. Another one of our great moderators. So this project, Pete, started really about 10 days ago in the minds of two donors that contacted myself, Pastor Kent, contacted Dr. Gertis, and basically said, and I'll paraphrase it, I'm extremely impressed with the capabilities that your community is showing. People are actually buying things or donating money, and within days or weeks, they're seeing their donation right to the hand of a soldier. It's not going through a corporate mess or a nonprofit mess. I'm so impressed that I want to do something great for Ukraine now. I know that the number one need, I think, and this is, I'm paraphrasing them, is armored vehicles because we're losing too many guys that could be saved.
Yes.
Accurate?
An accurate nail on the head. Bang. You've nailed it. Absolutely. I've got nothing to add to that.
Okay, so then they said, so we would like to make a large donation to get this going if we could find them. And, started talking to Gertis. We started communicating for about 10 days. And the next thing you know, we've got two guys that have donated 80,000 US dollars to start the project. And
Boy,
yeah, so doing
gentlemen,
all of,
thank you.
yes, doing all of the administration between the purchase of the vehicles, the upgrades with the run flat tires, the anti-drone systems, night vision, winches on the front and the back, export.
That is a game changer, front and back winches, man. Something I've been dreaming about for a long time. Wow.
I'm a redneck. Okay.
Yeah.
Winches are important where I hunt.
Get some gators.
But including the purchase, the export, the purchase of them, all the upgrades. What you have to remember also is the export, all of that process, because we're doing it legally, nonprofit to nonprofit, straight into Ukraine. So there is a system they use with an export company that will bypass all of the trash at the borders. So we've eliminated that. These vehicles will be delivered into Ukraine, where I will be coming back, of course, and we will drive them right to the front. We've even calculated the fuel necessary to get it to the front and fill them back up with fuel and hand you the keys. So it's a $200,000 project. And here we go. Here's Jania up in here. Pete and Greg and all friends in here. Thank you for all you do for Ukraine. There he is.
Hey, brother. Добрый вечер, брат.
Yeah. So this campaign was in our hearts and minds for about 10 days. I communicated with you, Pete, and you said, okay, this is the vehicle that is the most suitable. It's that Snatch. And then, listen, guys, if you want to know how this worked, there's Jania giving you love to you all. If you want to know how this worked, don't pass no ticket. It is It
I
really
was
is.
given this by a 19-year-old in my platoon today. He's 19. 19, and he volunteered to join the armed forces of Uganda.
Wow.
19 years old.
That's a
Yeah.
young hero right there.
Yeah, there's 3 of them in this platoon. 19 years old, man. Sorry.
So you're good. When we started looking for that, this is where it gets really weird. Do you remember when Pete was just showing you his bed and he said, up there is Ben? So a guy in your unit,
Mm-hmm.
knows the owner of the company where we're purchasing the vehicles from.
Ben is a volunteer medic with PK, yeah. And he's
Yes.
embedded with our unit.
And
Right,
he
yes.
knows the owners of the company there in the UK. So
Yeah.
it was a
Divine
personal instant connection.
Yeah. Bang. It feels like it was yesterday morning that we had that conversation.
Yeah.
That you
So
sent me a message. Yeah, sorry.
no, it's unbelievable. So officially, the campaign kicked off 53 hours and 32 minutes ago. 53 hours and 32 minutes ago. As of right now, you wonderful people around the world, we're at $107,000.
That is more than halfway, Gregory. What?
It's more than halfway, Peter.
What? You dedicated a month to raise this. You said we're going to do this in a month. And it's 48 hours late. 50. Oh, my word. I want to kiss each and every single one of you people that have donated and made this real. And those 2 legends that kicked this off with that massive donation. I want to kiss and hug and hold each of you for hours and hours and hours and go skipping around the park together. That is incredible. Do you know we lost 4 medics yesterday to an FPV attack?
Let me ask you a
Yeah,
question. I showed
yeah,
that video and you were very moved.
2 days ago. Sorry.
Yeah, 2 days ago. If they would have been in that vehicle with the anti-drone device and
Yeah,
armored, they would
yeah,
not be dead.
no,
They were in a little car.
yeah, all
So
4 of them.
this is why it's so important.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so Catalan with got to do something about those FPVs. So guys, just let me explain it to you here. When the vehicle comes into Ukraine, that is where we will equip it with the anti-drone device, but that's in the 200,000 because the technology changes like every 2 weeks with the frequencies and all of the latest and greatest. So we do not have some company in Europe or the UK install an anti-drone device. That happens here because here inside Ukraine, their nerds in the military know, okay, what is the best anti-drone protection for right now? And then it's also has the capability to be adjusted because they'll come back in 3 weeks later and go, listen, they're running on different frequencies now. We need to make adjustments. So everything that we're doing right. And the reason we're doing it right is because of people like Pete, people like Zhenya, people like other guys in the military that we have very, very, very close relationship with that realize we're doing this big project and will not let us make a mistake. I know that's very exciting for everybody, and I'm seeing the chat roll. We just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, because without you guys, this wouldn't happen. And how good is it going to feel? I mean, seriously, we're getting ready to leave. Oh, so here's the update. Our Navara is now repaired.
Yeah.
Слава Україні!
So we can leave again to go
Fantastic.
drop aid. It was destroyed, man. As you know, it was
No wonder
destroyed.
you've been so quiet and miserable, because
We're stuck.
your ship has been in dry dock. It's
Our
horrible.
ship has been in Pete. Literally, they took the cab and the body off of it so they could fix the frame. And then once
Chip.
that was put back together, then we developed an electrical problem because of all the stuff they were doing. But today, Zhenya picked it up about 5 hours ago, 4 hours ago, and we're good to go. Tomorrow, we will be loading and pre-shipping, and on Friday morning, we're on the way to the front.
Did
So
they install a roll bar for you? Because I've heard it's you guys like rolling that car every
yeah,
month.
we
Did
have
they install a roll
flipped
bar
it.
for you?
I think
This
think
car
we
goes
need-
on this side. Let's see how it behaves when it's on this axis. Thank
Well,
you, everybody, for
let
keeping
me
Greg and
let me
Zhenya
tell you
mobile.
this.
Soldiers
Let me
on the
tell
front
you
lines of
this.
Ukraine, thank you.
If you want to know how good people are, I'm changing this whole stream tonight. This is just little time with Pete. So we may be working on some other things, but I can tell you 100% we will accomplish this project. And we're going to do it. The key word is we, all together. The communities that are coming together. Dr. Gertis,
Thank you, Dr. Gertis. I love you, man.
yes. And he put out a video earlier
your hats.
tonight, just so kind. And I'm just telling you, this is how it works. Dr. Gertis put out this message because he's pushing it nonstop on his big channel. And then Johnny, who you met, messaged me from UK and says, all right, I'm doing a challenge event for this with a certain one of his subscribers and a very important person in his community, because we're going to do a challenge event to raise money towards these snatches. I was on with Andrew Mercado last night. Starsky writes me and says, hey, I want to get involved in this project. I want to help push it. Warthog's going to push it. Guys, we're going to make it. We are going to make it. And these vehicles are going to be here on the front lines as soon as possible with everything that has to be done for them. But it's because of you guys. So thank you. Now, I did see this, and we'll take this as how about this one? Pete sending much love from the woods of northern Michigan.
Thank you, Northern Michigan, sending you that love right back. God bless. Thank
All
you.
right.
I want
Now-
to visit there too.
Paul is a wonderful supporter of Ukraine. I mean, like, crazy good.
Thank you, Paul.
In fact, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was you that won an auction on Rick's channel for something, and what you won, you're giving it as a gift for Pete. I think it was you. I will be delivering that to Pete. I think it's Paul. But Paul writes in here,
Don't keep me in suspense.
Eugene Matsutsa, maybe you'll need a spare truck so one can stay to be repaired while you do a run. So,
Yeah.
all right, Paul, since you said that, we have already been contacted, and this has nothing to do with the Snatch Project, but we've already been contacted from our organization. PK messaged me and said, Greg, I think we need to get a second truck for you and Zhenya, because every time you come back from those terrible roads, there's always repairs. So we could have 2 trucks, and you come home from the run, you rest a couple days, you reload, you reship, you just grab the other vehicle, that broken one goes into service. So I think this is going to be happening. Shardy Weedwater from... that's LWD. That's Canada. I don't know how I remember where all you people are from, but Shardy Weedwater from Washington State. Much love to you, Pete.
Thanks. Love you too.
Okay, so Paul, uh, yes, that item was for me to Pete after I was inspired by his story. So I will be picking that up from Rick the Ukrainian and taking it to you. So, oh, by the way, Pete,
Thank you, Paul.
you know what I'm looking at
What
over
did,
there?
I want to know, Greg. I want to know what all these surprises are.
I see your new phone sitting right by my bed.
What? You mean I don't have to carry this ancient artifact around with me
No, in fact,
anymore?
what I'm going to do, listen,
My
okay,
phone
you ready
runs
for
on
this?
diesel electric generators.
This is what I'm going to do. Um, I'm going to give you the new phone on behalf of the shills and all the people that donated it. And then I'm going to take your old phone and we're going to go to the range and I'm going to put a bullet with your rifle right through that phone.
Thank you, sir. We'll do that on camera. Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you. That
John
thing has
Larkin,
slowed my life down. And
thank you for the super chat there, the 50 quid. Can you ask Pete how the back end of the Land Rovers are fixed out? He says, I've had a lot of time in the back of them and would, oh, that may be the Queen's English, Saracens work out there. I'm not the dog's bollocks on that.
Saracens.
Yeah. You understand that?
Saracens. That's just say the sentence again.
John Larkin asks, can you ask Pete how the back end of the Landies are fixed out? Have had a lot of time in the back of them and would Saracens work out there?
Saracens. I think that's it's a type of a vehicle. It's a Saracen is an armored vehicle. I saw one. The same chap that all you wonderful people are helping Greg to purchase these vehicles from. They've got. Do you remember that? Do you remember that catalog I sent you? If you peruse that catalog that Ben sent you, you'll see a Saracen there.
Okay.
Yeah, Saracen. It looks a little bit like a Bradley, but more streamlined. It's got a sloped nose. Yeah.
The thing.
Saracens. I don't know too much to answer that gentleman's question. I don't know what the inside of a Saracen looks like.
The thing about those snatches that we're purchasing that maybe people, because they do not know the environment where you work there on the front lines, especially, basically Ukraine has two fronts, and that is the Eastern Front and the Southern Front. Pete is somewhere on the Eastern Front, and the Eastern Front is much different geographically than the Southern Front. The Southern Front, massive open fields, all of the terrain slopes down to the Dnipro River, and you have these little villages spread out with just little hedge lines. Once you get into the frontline areas on the east, you get a lot of forest. You get a lot of small trails cut through the woods if they're in certain forested sections and little narrow roads. That's why these vehicles are really good, because you can maneuver them in places you can't get larger vehicles. I mean, is that accurate?
That's absolutely right. That's why PK has we've been so successful with our four-wheel drives, because smaller, lighter, more agile vehicles, much faster to respond than the big, heavy armored vehicles. Absolutely right.
Okay, so
we incidentally run 5 four-wheel drives, so I know what you were talking about when you need a second 4x4 for yourself. We have 5, and we're lucky we've got 1 on the road.
We're gonna make that happen. So listen, this is how this stuff works, Pete. So I missed it just going past the chat going so fast, but somebody had written in there, well, maybe Pete needs to keep his old phone as a backup. Don't shoot it. Let me tell you something. That phone isn't worth, it's trash, okay? Complete trash. So now, Georgie LaForge is saying, I would love to bid on that shot up phone at auction.
Oh,
So
gosh, that's an idea.
Here's what we're going to do. Do you mind if I put a bullet hole through your phone? Your old one?
No. Me? No, I don't mind.
Okay, so what we're going to do is when I get to Pete, we're going to film it. I'm going to put a hole through it. I'm really accurate. and then
I
Pete's
hate
going to
wasted
sign
money. Yeah.
it. Pete's going to sign it, and I'll take it to
We'll sign
Rick.
it. We
I'll
will
take it.
sign it.
I'll take it to Rick, and let him auction it to raise money for Project Konstantin.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. That is awesome.
Why not?
What a great. You're a genius at this stuff. You know, guys. I want to
No,
quickly say
it's the
something.
people in the chat. They care and finding ways to help.
You know, folks, there'll come a time when I can sit down and respond. I want you to know, from little me out here in the East, I'm just a tiny part of this big, beautiful love machine that's going around, created by all of you. Okay. And I just, please know that if I had more time in my day, if I had 27 more hours every day and 18 more hands and legs and arms, I could probably find the ability to pick up an extra phone and spend time to write to you, or even just one or two of you. Please trust me when I say I'm so busy out here trying to find ways to help these folks, as is Greg and Genya, as are Greg and Genya. But please know that you're always in the back of my mind. That message of me sending to Greg earlier this evening was born out of guilt, because I haven't spoken to him for a few days. And you girls, all of you guys are putting such massive amounts of energy and love. You're so dedicated to coming to these streams, onto Rick's streams, onto Dick's streams, onto Greg's streams. You know, and I'm not always able to be there, and I feel like I'm neglecting a lot of you, because you guys are literally keeping us going. You are helping to save lives. You are helping to strive towards victory. And please know that you guys are in my heart and in my thoughts all the time. It's there's just not enough time. At the end of the war, we'll do lots of catching up. But please know this from the bottom of mine and everybody at Project Konstantin's heart, and from all the boys in Zesu. Thank you, Greg, and thank you, all you wonderful people. Your donations and this 107,000 is absolutely gobsmackingly awe-inspiring. The power
Yeah,
of love.
it's 53 hours and an additional 27,000 raised. Is incredible, and it's just going to keep going because people believe this is what we have to do. We share the truth, and Pete, you know, your mother's coming, right?
Yeah.
And she is old,
87.
87, and coming to the front line of the war in Ukraine because she loves you.
Yeah, she does. I'm her baby. I'm the baby. The youngest of 5.
She loves you. And
Yes, sir.
when we're consistent, like, I'll be honest with you tonight, man, I am so tired for some reason tonight. You called it.
Yeah.
We go 24/7, literally. Do you know what time I went to bed last night? 6 a.m.
Phew. I'm not
working
surprised.
all night. And
Yeah.
this is what we do. So when we sacrifice that to make sure we're here the best we can be every day, and it feels like we
Yeah.
build a bond of trust, and it's
Yes, sir.
worth it, because then people literally feel, man, I've never met them in person, but my trust is growing every day, every day, every day, every day. And then people they feel like family, because
Yes, sir.
here in all these communities working together, and it's Rick and it's Johnny and it's Gertis and it's Merck and it's Starsky and others, we don't care what color you are. We don't care what nation you're from. We do not care what political affiliation, what religious background. We don't care. There is no prerequisite to join this family. All you have to do to join this family is we care about a common cause, and we join together on that. That's what binds us together, with a common goal. You know, you got a message here from Rick, the Ukrainian. Pete, my friend, love to see you. Greg, you too,
Rick,
of
it
course.
was so great to talk to you on the phone yesterday. Thank you for saying hello, Rick. You've been on my mind lots.
Rick, we're going to be getting a new fundraiser item for you. Pete's phone, and I did see all of the messages. Yes.
How is your haircut, Rick? Rick had to get off the phone yesterday. He was going to the barber. Sorry.
Man, I don't care. I'm just enjoying watching you smile, man.
Yeah, dude.
I mean-
you know what? You just get. I have to quickly.
All you want, brother.
You just said we've got a common cause. Do you know when Tatiana passed away? Tatiana founded Project Konstantin with me. She passed away 5 months ago now, and we created a chat group called Partisans. It was just it's a powerful song, a Ukrainian song called Partisans. Anyway, the Partisans, and I needed a narrative. I needed a headline. I needed I needed a description for what Partisans was, and it just came to me: Jesus and Ukraine. Nothing else matters. Because I wanted a group, and I wanted followers, and I wanted supporters to know that there's no BS here. And just like you just said, Greg, no skin color, no political persuasion, nothing. Jesus and Ukraine. That's it. We don't care about anything else. That's me anyway, and that was just my prerequisite. Jesus means love. So if you have love, and if you want to support Ukraine, this is where it's at.
This is the place to
we're
be.
on the same page, brother.
100%. And, this is what's happening. And I just want to put this up here. Yo, Greg, first time here. Just wanted to say thanks for coming on Merck's channel. That's how I find you. You are one of my favorites now. Thank you for that, C1 Boomer. But the point being is, this is how it's happening. Like, we're all coming together because we get it. If we do not, this is going to go the wrong way. It's like, I will share this one thing. We all know that 800,000 shells, maybe up to 1 million, have been financed now through the Czech Republic, through Czech, Peter Pavel, the president, and they're coming. But today, Czech released the information that says, okay, they're coming, we're working everything out. They will arrive by June. Okay, guys, thank you for that. But my goodness, it's March the 13th.
Yeah, holy cow, that's a long time.
And the U.S. giving 300 million with supply. It'll take weeks to get here, and it's enough for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Guys, without the global community coming together, I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of months. I'm not negative. I'm just honest. And it's a challenge. You're talking to a man right now who is sitting in his body armor, loaded and ready to go. The knock could hit the door and he has to leave immediately. This is where we're at. And it's pushing midnight here in Ukraine. And you see he's suited and ready to go.
You can't hear it. It's raining hell out there. We're in a little tiny valley. Our house is nestled in a valley. But if I open that door, it's constant thunder outside, and it's not the heavens thundering. It's the ground. It's the genocidal maniacs. Guys, do you know those figures you just mentioned of these artillery shells promised by who was it? Czech Republic?
Yeah, and it's wonderful. Yeah. It's wonderful. It's happening.
It is wonderful, and I want to say thank you to the Czech Republic right now. But you guys don't know. Russia is throwing millions of rounds at us. They have got I called it an avalanche. I called it a tsunami of molten metal and burn and fire. I'm still going to call it as it is. We're being drip fed ammunition here. If the world doesn't do an about face, you can keep that ammunition for yourself because you're going to need it. Europe, you're going to need it.
Pete, are you good for 5 or 10 more minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, guys, I was going to show this tonight, but and explain it. So I'm going to show it now without my other documentation because this is what we're talking about. While we're trying to get supply here, this is what's happening. And it was the title of the program tonight. Every day, this is what's happening. These are the glide bombs that Russia is dropping everywhere along the front lines. Take a peek at this. I'll back it up. You can see it come in. I slowed it down at the beginning. Watch. Guys, here's Sumi residential building. That's hit with a Shaheed. Yes, loss of life. This is our helicopters in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian helicopters. They were landing. They took 2 of the 3 out. Here's Krivoy Rig. In fact, I'm going to show you this video right here. A mom and dad and a baby were sleeping. They survived because they had put a blanket up in the balcony. Look at this. That blanket, the mother had hung there to dry. This is what we're talking about, guys, and this is every day. I can show you 10 more videos from Kherson right now. I have them lined up to show tonight.
Greg, I'm sorry, Greg. Please forgive me, everybody. I've got to go.
Go.
My ride has just arrived. God bless you. I love
Pete,
you all.
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Peace.
Talk to you later.
God bless, guys. Thank you so much for having me. You guys are incredible. Thank you for being so amazing.
Pete,
You are blessed people of the world. Greg and Zhenya, love you. Gotta go, guys. Ciao.
be careful.
Will do.
So there you have it, guys. Wow. Yeah, they can drop them out. Were the helicopters taken out by artillery? No, they were not taken out by artillery. They were the first strikes there were with cluster munitions, and then they took them out with precision. Yeah, and now, guys, that's the reality right there. And I think this is, I don't have the words. It's horrible. Take care, Pete. So, guys, I know exactly where Pete is. I don't even think he tells Yana, his administrator, but I know exactly where he is. And I know where he's going right now. And if you pray, say a prayer for Pete tonight. If you don't pray, think good thoughts for Pete, because it's tough. It's hold on, let me fix this. There you go. I fixed the volume for you. Should be good now. Yeah, I had pulled it down. I mean, I'm trying to recover because I mean, I know where he's sitting, I know where he's going. So, yeah, think good thoughts for him. Everything should be good on the sound now. Yeah. Well, well. He told me that would happen, but It's yeah, a little tough. Let me give you a little good news here, and then I'm gonna sign off. Greg, is the Russian well ray from Rostov, von Rostov to Mariupol to Crimea important? It's the most important Roman Empire, and it's rolling. Um, yeah, here's another one of our moderators, Nathan Fody. That's not war firing weapons into residentials. No, it's not, and it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Let me do this. Let me do this, and Ukraine is digging defensive positions like crazy. I want to show you. Let me show you this, guys. I mean, I'm awake now, so this is Kharkiv.
There are 23 people working on this site. We're constructing reinforced concrete structures and making them out of wood. We're also equipping trenches with nets. This is a round defense where people can take cover from shelling or fire back. Well, these houses were built before that. The architects gave us blueprints and we follow the developers' blueprints. It depends on the capacity, the quantity of machinery and people. So overall, within a month, one defense point can be constructed. We're currently at platoon defense point. Practically all types of fortification structures that are here are present. As for the length of these passages, it's thousands of meters. Practically, if you count the number of such platoon defense points, then it's also in hundreds. It's all calculated by our military. These are our strategic directions. In reality, it spans the entire borderline with the Russian Federation. And it's actually a line of defense. It permits that. We have to do it with civilian forces, civilians, that is, companies. Yesterday, apparently, there was a strike on one of these groups, which was working in the Kupino area. 2 people were killed, about 6 were injured there. And now the question arises that the people are also carrying out tasks at the level of, accordingly, the State Special Service, that is, the transport of the State Service of Ukraine. Yes, the so-called ones that currently are carrying out. That is, the construction is also in the interests of the military, but in fact on the front line. Therefore, first of all, people need to be paid a decent wage, and of course in case of any emergency, so that people or their families should receive some compensation. It's loud, but, well, everyone does it. If you hear a rumble, then it's better to take cover wherever you're digging, yes.
So that is that's Kharkiv. Now I want you to take a look at Kherson. This is what I've been telling you guys about what they're building, and these are 30 and 40 kilometers from the actual front.
Hello, I'm currently at the second line of defense in the Kherson region.
There you go.
Here to assess the progress of fortification constructions and the work in Raspal. We're digging anti-tank ditches and setting up concrete barriers. We are putting up defenses, building strongholds, doing everything we can to protect our territory from the invasion of the Russian horde. I would like to reiterate similar defensive measures are being implemented in all frontline regions as part of the state program. I also want to correct the misinformation that government and law enforcement agencies are fleeing from Kherson. This is a blatant lie and part of the Russian propaganda that would have us believe everyone is working towards our defeat. Rest assured, everyone is instead working in their respective places for our victory. Glory to Ukraine.
Yeah, so guys, that's the deal right there with the defenses that are being built. I personally have witnessed these. Jonathan Pierce has witnessed these. It's the entire front, which is 1,000 kilometers long, and many times when we're going in and out of the front, it's just some of these fields are like miles and miles and miles long, and you can just see 3 rows of the dragon's teeth and 2 trenches and heavy equipment and private companies out there doing it. And the problem is, like they were saying on the Kherson one, is that now these private civilians, basically they're doing work for the war. They're being fired upon. It's really happening. I do see a lot of you guys in there chatting as well, talking about, man, that's something I could do. I think it would be great if there would be some kind of civil service volunteer battalion. I can't do it, okay, but it would be great. Now, I want to bring Rick in here. He jumped in. What's up, brother?
Hello, everyone. Live long and prosper.
So, Rick is another one of our partners that is working. The dragon's teeth buried. No, they're sitting there. I've walked right up to them. They're very big and very heavy, but they're not buried. They're not put in concrete. They're just sitting there. Yeah. So, what did you think about listening to Pete there?
Man, I had a call with him yesterday, and it was such a pleasure. And it's so cool to bring a smile to his face. Man, today I'm super energized. I'm productive, and I'm so optimistic. You remember that whining Rick from 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
on the shills? He's gone.
Awesome.
I'm just, man, this is tough. Everything's gonna be even tougher in the future, but there's gonna be that darkest hour that is just before the dawn, and we will win. I am sure of it, man. We will prevail. In the end, many thousands of Ukrainians will still die, and not only Ukrainians. We have a lot of people from all over the world helping us, and also dying for Ukraine. And not just for Ukraine, but for the freedom of all Europe and all the world.
Mm-hmm.
The world as we know it, a world of peace, world of stability, without wars, like without many wars, I would say, and these big wars, just like this one. So, yeah, man,
Well, I can tell you,
let's not,
listen,
yeah,
Rick, we can either bury our heads in the sand and then hope to wake up and everything's okay, and it will not be. Or we
yeah,
can take the challenge, take the bull by the horns, and we can let nothing stop us. Because if I discuss quite honestly today, which I will, Zhenya and I were pretty mad today.
hmm
Okay, and we're rarely mad unless we're on the front line fighting with somebody. But today we had to deal with the red tape of the mindset that is still being battled against inside Ukraine with Soviet Union red tape in regard to helping the soldiers on the front lines. I spent hours in a bank dealing with the necessary paperwork and chaos to get the money that the people all over the world are donating, even though we're nonprofit to nonprofit or it's whatever, it doesn't matter. Of course, we have success and victory, but I had a big war to fight with the banking system of Ukraine. I'm on the phone with Zhenya, I'm on the phone with our lawyer, and we got it all worked out. Everything's good. But let me give you guys some insight today. And Rick, I'll let you speak to this, but I'll tell you what happened. Today, I had to fight, literally, I mean, not this way, but with about 6 people in a bank. They're all my buddies. Don't misunderstand me. I work with them now regularly. But we had to fight today because of the red tape of transferring money into Ukraine. And how did we resolve it? So My apartment here in Khmelnytsky, I have a very, very good friend that's like a brother to me. He's a great guy, and I've always had my own place at his place, my own room. Everything is mine. This is my room, my balcony, everything. My studio's here. For 20 years, I've had this place. And the bank made us come back to the apartment, Rick. We had to go to a notary and get a document that has two witnesses from people that live on the same floor as we live that would witness that I live here. So they had to sign, put their passport number, and say, yes, Greg sleeps in that room. Tomorrow morning, I have to take that notarized document back to the bank to validate. But
Bureaucracy.
we had victory. We need to get through that bureaucracy, brother.
Yeah, and we need to simplify all of this. We need to digitalize all of this. And these stupid rules must go. And they're going, but too fucking slow. They're going away, but too slow. It's gonna take us 5 to 10 years to get rid of all the mess that is currently standing in the way of doing things efficiently, to bring in stuff to the front lines. A lot of that. And in the army, we need digitalization there. The process has started, but we need to speed it up somehow. You see, guys, the thing is, the corrupt people in Ukraine, like the how do you call them? Bureaucracy people, okay? So they got used to get money for every paper, money for themselves. They try to speculate and try to blackmail you. Like they're saying, oh, actually, okay, they say you need five documents like these. You bring them those 5 documents. They are saying, guys, oh, I forgot, but there's actually one document you still need to bring. I don't worry, I will help you. I will help you to get that document. Just $100, and all the problems gonna be sorted. So these fuckers are gonna be slow in the process of digitalization. They have friends in politics, deputies who are making those laws, and they're going to be voting against the digitalization votes and giving some like amendments to the law, right? Is it an amendment?
Amendments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amendments. Yeah, and the law is going to be partially good and crippled after those amendments, and that's how it works. And it takes years because it all goes. It's a fight. It's not just like we do it like this and we have beaten the bureaucracy. No, bureaucracy will actually refuse to just go away. Bureaucracy will fight back, and bureaucracy will just drag it for years. And unfortunately, I
Well,
don't know how to beat this.
it takes time, and unfortunately, Rick, I I have my opinion, and 26 years working here, I guess I'm entitled to it. But I am a firm believer that the way Ukraine will win this war is by telling the truth. We do not need to hide the fact that, you know what, we're losing some of these towns and we need artillery guys, world. We're not holding on to these places, we're losing them, and we
Exactly.
need artillery. Secondly, we're fighting a war against corruption, and we will lay it all on the table. World, we're fighting against this Soviet mentality, and this is what we're dealing with. Please help us figure it out. Instead of saying, well, we'll have Crimea by April. The F-16s will be here in 3 months, and yeah, we'll be in the European Union by 2025. No, you will not.
Yeah.
2030, it would be a miracle. because
Exactly.
of the system. So if you tell the truth, I think the world and the nations would come together and say, man, they really want to break out. They really want to come west. They really want to leave that mess. Let's help them. Versus
Yeah.
Kiev always saying, everything's cool. We're ready.
Man, we gotta be the Kiev. We gotta be bringing the information. You know what? I'm actually reading the articles of one corruptioner, no, corruption fighter here in Ukraine. His name is Shabunin. His second name is Shabunin. Have you heard of him?
I have,
Nice. What is your opinion on?
I don't have an opinion. I just heard the name. I haven't
Mhm.
watched any stuff, but I've heard the name.
Okay, so Shabunin is the head of Центр протидії корупції, which is the center of протидія. Damn it, this word is hard to translate. To like counter attack on corruption. Yeah, let's call it that way. So this center,
Protiv.
yeah,
Against,
so
against corruption.
center against corruption.
Anti-corruption.
Let's simplify. Anti-corruption center. So that's basically a community of journalists and of civilians who are really, first of all, investigating corruption in Ukraine and actually observing it, like really not just observing but controlling it. If and they are screaming. This guy Shabunin and his center, they are screaming for the change. They are actually bringing things that they know about corruption in Ukraine. They are bringing those things to office of president and saying, guys, we have this information here. We're going to make it public if you won't start working on it. And if they don't, and they usually don't start working on it, they go and make it public. So that's their tactics, guys. I could be actually bringing you the news from that guy. And for example, one big, huge fucking problem we have with our judiciary system is that judiciary is about the law system, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Courts.
So courts, yeah. So in courts we have this damn law that is called amendments of Lozovy, правки Лозового. Have you heard of that
No.
one? Correct. So what that one did somewhere back in the days, I mean, maybe during the Yanukovych or Poroshenko, maybe Poroshenko, yeah, probably Poroshenko. It was done like if so. What's the point of that thing? If the case in the court lasts for more than a year or two, I don't remember their exact number, but of some fixed period of time, then they will just close it. So what they do, what corruptioners do, they just stretch those court time, the prosecution time, and that's it. They're closing the cases of biggest corruptioners because they all, like most of our deputies, are part of those corruption schemes, and they are interested to let their friends to go with it, just go away with it. So, for example, you remember Kolomoisky, famous oligarch from Dnipro. He was put into the pretrial detention center about half a year ago, and I think his case is about to be killed also by those Pravka Lozovoho. So, guys, corruption is not really being fought in Ukraine. It's only being displayed like it's been fought because that dude Shabunin is screaming for the last 6 months that our government should fucking cancel those amendments of Lozovy, which give the opportunity for all the corruption cases to be closed. And they're not doing it. Our deputies are just slowing down that and not voting for that law to get rid of those amendments. And you see, he is putting all of this into display. He's transferring this information to the partners from European Union, and they are pressing our government, pressing the office of the president. So he's choosing this way to put it in public, to transfer it to the partners, so they will really say, dudes, we're not going to give you another tranche of money, another part of billions from those 50 billion if you won't do this and this. And that's an awesome, that's how truth works. You put it on display, you make it legal, like make it out there, and that's the only way to beat it. So yeah, let's talk about corruption.
Yeah, we have
Let's,
to, Rick, because I'm here. I was with those banking guys today, and this stream went completely different way than I thought it would, having Pete and you here, so it's even better. And I didn't know I was going to talk about corruption, and we watched Pete run to the zero line, and it's awesome. But the guys I was working with in the bank, I know them. They're not my enemy. I was upset and angry at the system, and they were as well, to be honest. They were as well. They're going, Greg, and we're all in there having that talk, and they said, we're sorry. There's so much bureaucracy and corruption, and I'm so sorry to ask you to do this, but I'm going to need a document that validates where you live from 2 of the neighbors. Greg, we know you. We know you're raising huge money. In fact, one of them is a subscriber on my YouTube channel. They watch every night. He goes, I know. I'm sorry.
Slava Ukraini.
And it's just trapped in it. Adrian, thank you for those 20 coffees. Listen, I'm just a firm believer in this situation that truth wins. Let me show a couple of videos, and I think this will help it, and then we'll close out, Rick, because you've had a few minutes, and I've got to roll early in the morning as well. But I want to show 2 things here. Okay, talking about laying the cards on the table, and corruption, and all this. So, as we all know, the great election for the Russian dictator is already underway for early voting, but the official election starts tomorrow and will go through the 17th. And it's already the 14th here in Ukraine, so day after tomorrow for most of you. The 15th through the 17th. So this was put on the Russian news. A lovely granny down in Zaporizhia in the occupied area, probably Tokmak, Melitopol or somewhere, had the wonderful joy to vote for Vladimir Putin.
Ай, мама, вы нам победу, чтоб мы с вами были, ни с кем-нибудь. А где тут дырочка? Вот дырочка. Господи, как вы на эту дырочку. Господи,
oh, we call it, in Ukrainian, we call it православие головного мозга.
Da. Okay, so that was in Ukraine. And this, of course, this is what they're blasting everywhere, showing, look. Okay, now, let me show you about a Russian granny. Okay, now I've voiced this one over and there's subtitles, but do you guys remember at the beginning of the war, for like the first 18 months, there was like these 4 or 5 Russian grannies that would come on there and they would praise Putin and they would talk bad about Biden and we're going to destroy. And they were like Putin's little granny choir. I showed lots of their videos for entertainment. But anyway, this is not one of them. Listen to who I call Granny Preacher. This is in Russia. Why does Putin have no opposition? Because he has all the law enforcement agencies under his command. You're not allowed to protest. Look what's happening in Germany. Tractor drivers are protesting, they block everything, and nobody's arresting them. Maybe you remember how our tractor drivers tried to protest 5 years ago. They wanted to drive from our region to Moscow and do a big protest. So they were stopped in our region and the organizers were arrested. And the rest, they were sent home and no one came out in support of the work. And in Germany, people are showing support for the tractor drivers. Railroad workers support them. Factory workers too. We don't have anything going on like that. We're all scared and we all sitting at home. I'm an old lady. I'm not afraid of arrest. I have nothing to lose and I have a pension of $130 a month. You try to live like that. It's a good thing my husband has an honored steelworker who gets $350 a month. How should I live on a poverty pension? I spend $80 at the pharmacy and I need to pay for other utilities in my apartment too. So where's all the opposition? Opposition? They get rid of all those who try to do anything in opposition. Our government, they're in control of the police, the FSB, and other organizations. And if the people revolt, they will use violence on us. That's it. How many years has Putin been in power? 20? So what? Has life gotten any better? We pensioners don't feel it. Life hasn't got any better. So let's draw some conclusions now. I can't talk about students. I don't know how their lives are. Fortunately or unfortunately, we don't have children. So we don't have anything to lose. But life hasn't gotten better for us. The conclusion for us is simple. We need to change the government. We need to change the president. Yet nothing is changing. Listen, the cafe behind me now has prices like a restaurant. 10 years ago, we freely went out to eat in the cafe, and now all we can do is buy a small cake and a cup of tea. And also, take a look at our city. It's in complete ruins. It's terrible. And as soon as this military operation started, planes started flying over our house. Should there be a change in power? There must be, including the turnover of the deputies. But we're not going to have that. The authorities are in complete control of all the military forces. Do you remember when Putin said there would be no increase in the retirement age? I even know when and where he said it. So what? So what now? He says one thing and then he does another. Life has changed and so does another. You better shut up, Putin. What a brave lady.
Yeah. That's good to listen to her, but also so sad because her words and her understanding of reality doesn't really change anything in Russia.
No, it doesn't.
Going.
But my point in showing that, at least she's saying something.
Yeah.
And I know this one may rub you the wrong way, but this is what Ukrainians need to be doing. We need to be saying, this is broken. We need to change it. Because
we're saying.
Right. There's no changing in Russia. Not going to happen. Hopefully she's not arrested. Okay? But here, Rick, we can change it. We can change it, change it. So that's the battle. So I show that
and
to
we
be
will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see, I'm thinking that what Shabunin is doing, he's bringing it out there in Ukrainian publicity and also transferring it not so publicly to our European partners for them to pressure the office of president. Maybe I should be doing it from my side.
Agreed.
Of course, it's going to be dangerous for me at some point because office of the president. They actually, have you heard about that scandal with when SBU started spying on journalists here in Ukraine?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was loud. It was
You
damn
know what?
loud here in Ukraine.
You talk a second and I'll bring you a gift. Hang on.
Okay.
If you're worried, I got something for you. Hang on.
Am I? Okay. Like a gun? Okay, guys. So, bringing it out there and talking about it publicly and attracting attention not only of the partners like Euro commissars, commissioners, and European Parliament politicians, but just the regular people. If everyone in the world will be talking about правки Лозового in Ukraine, maybe they finally start getting rid of them, of those правки Лозового, which is amendments of Lozovый. Wow, Greg is really getting into some plastic bag out there. You hear that noise, right? Guys, also, I wanted to remind you that we're doing an auction of this Maria piece. I've put it there already. You see it, right? Yeah, it's there. Well, the latest bid is $3,000, of course. That's huge, but maybe Man, I'm not gonna be. I can't hear you. You're muted.
If you'll start doing that stuff, I'll bring you my helmet and my body armor, and that way you won't have any problem if they come after you. So you'll be all good.
Well, I won't be wearing that. I still need to be. I need to become braver than I am, and this is why I am going with you to roll on the front line.
You know
Man,
what
I'm
else?
doing it.
You know what else? Guess who else is
Mhm.
going to roll? Mercado and I were
Hmm.
talking last night. He's going to roll a line with
Yeah.
us too. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's good. Well, guys, I hope this has been good tonight. Hour and a half here. It's 12:31 here in Ukraine. We just thank you. We saw Pete. We had an update. And by the way, for those of you that are just tuning back in, I want to make sure you all know it. The project started at zero, and then we had an $80,000 gift. And in the last 54 hours, you have moved the total giving to $107,000. So we are $93,000 away from our goal, and that's going to happen quickly. And Rick, you're going to be auctioning off Pete's phone once I blow a hole through it,
Nice.
and he's going to sign it. Yeah, we were talking about that before you got on here. Maybe you heard.
Both of you should be on that stream, and I'm gonna be auctioning it.
Oh yeah, we'll be on there. We'll be on there. So
Awesome.
anyway, thank you, thank you,
That's
thank
that's
you.
awesome. Awesome idea, man.
Yeah.
And guys, just quickly remind you that if you're really willing to give more than $3,000 for a piece of Maria, it is waiting for you there because Holy Oblation is giving $3,000. It's the latest bid, and no one can beat him for the last 5 or 6 days.
Well, it's not over yet. It's going to happen.
Let's
It's
see.
going to happen. Let me do this real quick. Paul, Goody Deberitz, thank you for the gifted memberships tonight.
Oh,
Zeroto for the three, looks like Euro. Took my glasses off. iBag gifting the 5 memberships. John Larkin with the 50 quid that was asking the question to Pete there. Anastasia B became a crew member. Claire gifting 5 memberships. Miriam from New Zealand 10, sending much love and respect to you both from New Zealand. And Paul another 5 memberships. Thank you
thank
all.
you.
Just what a great community. And Rick, you're showing that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one that Paul won?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
not the one.
No.
Not the one. Yeah. This one Paul wants, and he already bids today on the stream here on your stream. He bid $150 for this one. It's gonna be auctioned on Sunday, guys. So yeah,
Do you happen to have the medic kitten there?
yeah, I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, we were talking earlier. I told you that one of my mods, Paul, won the auction on Rick's channel for this medic, and he's donating that to Pete. So, in a few days, I will be with Rick. I will pick up that, and I will be taking it directly to Pete. And you guys, of course, will see everything. So, thank you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. My friend, are you gonna be doing an impersonation of Kitty Baby because you're actually
I'll leave that to you. You got the new haircut.
yeah. It's not new. It's the usual one,
It's the usual.
but it's fresh. It's fresh.
You got the fresh do. Well,
Yeah.
thank you
Thanks,
all,
man,
guys. Rick, thank you
for
for
having
jumping
me
in.
here
Hey,
today.
always, bud.
Yeah.
We're one team. Thank you to all of you guys watching tonight. Please continue to share, like, comment, tell others. Rick's link is in my description. My link's there. Pete's link's there. The giving. Remember, right now we're pushing hard for these trucks, and it's going to happen. The armored vehicles. You guys be blessed.
Snatches.
The snatches, snatching those people that are wounded from death and saving their lives. So thank you for everything. Rick, you have a good night. Stay in the green room for 1 minute. Don't hang up yet.
Okay.
And good night to everybody. We'll give a See you later.
Live
Oh,
long,
actually, you're
prosper,
here.
and
There.
remain.
Oh, yeah. He loves Spock. So, Slava Ukraina.
Героям слава.
Слава Україні!